So that caps lock fix I showed you previously was a great one and it worked, but it was temporary. So every time you turn your machine off, it would come back and you'd have to do the fix again. It can be quite annoying. However, what I've got in today's video is a permanent fix. You do it once and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about that caps lock issue ever again. Now, for those of you out there who are wondering what is this caps lock issue, let me quickly explain. If you own a machine that runs macOS, whether it be a MacBook, Mac Mini and so on, chances are you may have experienced this, although you didn't know. So when you're typing on the actual keyboard and when you press the caps lock a little bit too fast, let me just show you, this is what happens. As you can see, 9 out of 10 times it doesn't actually turn on. In order to get it turned on, you have to press it with a delay like this. And as you can imagine, not everyone types that slow. So when you are typing fast and you want to just tap the caps lock, turn it on, it doesn't work, it becomes very frustrating. And I even had people in my previous videos say, thank you for this video. I actually thought my MacBook was faulty because of this feature that Apple has put into the system. Why have they put it in there? I don't know. They say it's so you don't accidentally hit the caps lock. Why they haven't given us a fix in the settings to just switch it off for those of us who type a bit faster, I don't know that either. But I know that I've got a fix for you today, and it's 8 simple steps. Should take you around 4 minutes and you'll be done with that issue once and for all. So let me explain. So step number 1 is easy, but it is quite important. Finding your username that you're using on macOS. Easiest way to do this, well, at least my easiest way to do this, is through terminal. So what you're going to do is you're going to press command and hit the space bar on your keyboard. It should bring up Spotlight Search. Type in terminal, press enter. Now we're in terminal. Now we're going to be using terminal for the rest of this anyway, so get comfortable with it. Once you're in terminal, the first command you're going to write is who am I? Without any spaces. Once you press enter, it should give us your actual username you're using on the macOS system. Now this username is very important. We're going to need it later on in the video, so make sure to save it somewhere that you have access to. Now once you've got your username, the next bit in terminal we're going to do is actually open up the editor and get the script actually started. So in terminal, copy and paste this bit of text that you see on screen. It will also be in the comments box below and the description if you want to copy it instead of actually having to type it out. So once you've got it into terminal, press enter. It should load up the actual editor we're going to be using for the script. Once you are in the editor, copy and paste now this bit of text that you see on screen will also be down in the comments and the description box, and press enter, and then we're going to save it. So what you want to do is hold Control and press O. It will give us the option to save or change the file name. Don't do that, just leave the file name as it is. Press enter, and then to exit we're going to press Control and X. So now we've got the first stage started, and you can take a little bit of a break. And while you're taking a break, let's take a look at this little segment by today's video sponsor, UPDF. So lately I've been using UPDF to actually manage PDF files directly on my Mac, and I think it's a tool a lot of you are going to find very useful. If you regularly use PDF files, whether it be for contracts, research papers, scripts, UPDF actually has AI built directly in to help you with it. Some of the cool things are you can summarize a long document, you can translate them if they're in a different language, you can even get it to explain specific sections if it's just a bit too hard or a bit complicated to understand, or even chat with it and ask about your files, ask questions. It's really useful for getting through dense content without having to read every single word. The editing is also surprisingly clean, whether it be text, images, signatures, annotations, all editable without actually jumping into another app first. And it feels a lot more modern compared to some of these older PDF software out there. Also, it works across Mac, iPhone, iPad, Windows, and all on the same account too, so you can make sure your files and edits stay synced wherever you are. And if you've got scanned documents, the OCR feature converts them into actually searchable, editable text that saves you a serious amount of time. If you want to check out UPDF for yourself, check the link in the description box below. Now that we're back from that sponsored segment, what you're going to do while you're in terminal, copy and paste this bit of command and press enter. Now that should get the baseline sort of started. The next bit is actually going to be writing the whole script. But in your case, you're going to be copy and pasting it because I'll have it all for you in the description and the comments box for easy access. Copy and paste this bit of text into terminal command. It should load up the editor again, and it's going to load up that specific script that we saved earlier on. Now, once you press enter, this is very important. So you see this whole section on screen now that you're going to be copying and pasting into the actual editor. There's a bit there that says your username. Now, obviously, from step 1, we managed to get what username you're using on macOS. So this section here that says your username, you're going to use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and then once you get up there, delete the section that says your username, replace it with your actual username that you're using on macOS, and then just leave it. Then we're going to press again, Control O to save the file, leave it as the default file name that it says, press enter, Control and X to exit that, and now we've actually got the script file ready to run. So once you're still in terminal, you're going to copy and paste this bit of text and copy it into the command, press enter, and hey presto, you're done. So now every time you turn your machine off, that caps lock should be fixed. You won't have to do the fix ever again. You won't have to run the command ever again. It should be automatically running behind the scenes, so you won't actually see it when you turn your machine on. It's not like terminal is going to pop up and you're going to be like, oh, what is this? You're just going to run behind the scenes, and I can say from experience, it's been working flawlessly. Now, if at a later date you want to turn it off, or you just want to delete the script completely, I'm going to show you on screen now commands that you can run in terminal. One to turn the actual command off so it stops running at startup if you ever want to do that. And then the other one is to completely delete the script from the system. If you found this video helpful, hopefully now you won't have to deal with that caps lock issue that Apple calls a feature. I would appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel, as it would help in more ways than you know. Like the video if you ended up liking it. Share with your friends and family who also have issues with the caps lock delay on the macOS systems. And as always, I appreciate you watching, I appreciate your support, and I will catch you on the next one.